Let's be clear at the get-go. I did not find a clear relationship between Axelar and ANKR. Further, I don't quite make a clear link between optimism and cosmos/osmosis. Further, not even the ANKR subreddit has discussed this link, so let's call it an unlikely connection meets interesting project. This failed research project still turned out some pretty interesting material. Allow me to share that with you. Here's how it started. Welcome to Unusual Due Diligence. I am your host, Poseidon, the mighty and ancient god of the sea, and whose spirit brings to life me, the talking milkshake. In today's fresh episode, I'll take you on a journey through some research that I think you'll find pretty interesting. Interesting because of new connections made to MIT, Algorand, and more in today's fresh episode. You see, in a recent episode looking over the ANKR public RPC usage, I noted that Optimism was experiencing massive RPC growth. Quote, they went from 30,000 or so requests per day to, well, wow, is that a million? How in the world? End quote. So in today's fresh episode, let's take a peek at what this optimism is all about. According to this Google search, the top matching result claims that Optimism is, quote, Optimism is a layer 2 optimistic rollup network designed to utilize the strong security guarantees of Ethereum while reducing its cost and latency, end quote. Since ANKR is on Ethereum, well, that kind of makes sense. Was it possible then that ANKR might be connecting Optimism and Osmosis in some new unexpected way? That'd be pretty interesting. So first we need a link between Optimism to Cosmos or Osmosis, which, well, that seems both easy and hard. Easy in the sense that Osmosis is layer 1 and Optimism is layer 2, but hard in that it doesn't explain anything at all about the recent spike in optimism. Today I have a theory that's admittedly weak, but it surfaces a project I don't know about and one you might want to look into, and I'll explain that. First, let's take a look again at this chart on the ANKR RPC network. It starts with trying to understand what might have happened that caused this rapid spike. I present my argument, which is based on this word salad of a press release that is now shown on the screen. Quote, Austin, Texas, June 16, 2022, from PR Newswire. Osmosis, the Cosmos-based interchain automatic market maker, AMM, today announces the launch of cross-ecosystem token swaps. It's the first offering on the DEX that is enabled by Axelar, the secure cross-chain communication infrastructure provider that the Osmosis DAO has voted in as the canonical bridge to connect with the Ethereum ecosystem. End quote. June 16th was about a week after the consensus conference in Austin, by the way. So if you're like me, you might have had your eyes glaze over, except on a funny thought, and that there's an axe in this paragraph, specifically an Axelar. Now, at the time, I had no idea what an Axelar is. I know what an axe is, but what's an Axelar, and why does this even need a press release? And why does it correlate with the rapid spike in Osmosis calls shown on ANKR? Or is that Optimism calls? What or who is Axelar? The following section, if you skip ahead in that same press release, gets us a little closer. Quote, Axelar has raised capital from top-tier investors, including Binance, Coinbase Ventures, and Polychain Capital. Partners include major proof-of-stake blockchains such as Avalanche, Cosmos, Ethereum, Polkadot, and Terra. Axelar's co-founders are founding team members of Algorand and award-winning graduates of MIT, where they received notable recognition as part of their graduate studies. End quote. It's that time of the episode to show my MIT picture and remind everyone that this part of the world is ground zero for the cryptocurrency landscape. If you're new to some of the angles of MIT and Algorand, let me just note that Algorand is connected to someone called Silvio Macaulay, who is deeply connected to worldwide efforts to create a central bank digital coin, and that even the payment system space, or my AMP token friends, is profoundly all connected back to MIT. So far, I've just noted that Optimism connects to Osmosis and a platform called Axelar, although that link is not really strongly formed, let's say. I've shown Axelar is connected to Algorand and MIT, but there's one more connection hidden in this sea. There's a Medium article shown on the screen, written by an Alex Speck. This article hints out that ANKR is one of the more interesting personalities behind the Axelar project. That little tidbit is shown on the screen. Now, for full transparency, having a little call out here on Medium is, in my mind, well, this is a very weak reference. If you review the team tab of Axelar, then you'll see that it has a lot of high-profile individuals from all across the fintech and cryptocurrency landscape. Is Axelar truly working with ANKR or sponsored by them in some capacity? I have some doubt about that, but I did learn quite a bit about the Axelar project with connections to MIT, Algorand, Consensus, and even more connections as you look through the team members page. It's quite an interesting study. This is Unusual Due Diligence. Make waves, my friends.